All right, buenos dias. So we'll talk about Chol Hamoed today. There's the psukim in the Torah teaches that the Gemara brings a various number of ways to learn how to appropriate ourselves, how to behave, what halachot and actions and activities are allowed and or not allowed on the days of Chol Hamoed, which is the intermediate days between the first and second, or the beginning and ending days of Sukkot, and for that matter of Pesach. So the pasuk says, "Ele moadei Adonai mikra'e kodesh." And our sages learned in Masechet Chagiga, what are Mikra'e Kodesh? Moadim, Ele Moadei Hashem. Moadim are the holidays. So what are Mikra'e Kodesh? The days that we call them Kodesh. Say Chachamim, Elu Yemei HaMoed. These are the days of the Moed. So there's Moadim. We know that those are holidays, but then there's something called Mikra'e Kodesh. What is that? It's not the same day. That's right. And it is the Moadim, the Chol Hamoed. Now there are about 5 different ways in Psukim to learn that there exists a concept of Chol Hamoed, that we should have an elevated day. It's a day of holiness, and we should not perform certain activities, while some activities are allowed. And just to give you one of them, for example, okay? Sheshet yamim tuchal matzot u'vayom hashvi'i atzeret laHashem Elohecha. 6 days you shall eat matzot, and on the 7th day it's an atzeret to Hashem your God, right? So he says, "Ma shevi atzur av sheshet yamim atzur." If the 7th day of Pesach is atzeret, which means to stop and not to do melacha, so all the other 6 days are also atzeret. They also should not have melacha. Rather, Chachamim say, what is right? So what is atzeret? The 7th day is atzor mikol melacha. Stop from all the melachot, but on Chol Hamoed, some melachot are allowed, some melachot are not allowed. And the Chachamim have guided us on what is allowed, what is not allowed. So what are we allowed to do? What should we do on Chol Hamoed? What should we not do on Chol Hamoed? First of all, it's a mitzvah to have simcha on Chol Hamoed. Even though it's a day that you could turn on the lights, you could drive your car, you should have simcha. It's a mitzvah to study more Torah, because Pikudei Hashem Yesharim Mesamchei Lev, the study of Torah really brings simcha to your heart. Okay, all year round, not only on Chol Hamoed, but certainly on Chol Hamoed. It's a mitzvah to have a meal in the morning and in the evening with bread. It's a mitzvah to have meat and wine if you're not vegan. And also we have concepts of the kavod of the Moed, which is having ksut nikiyah, a clean garment and things like that. But beyond that, it's asul b'melacha. We're not allowed to perform heavy melachot, such as shaving our beard, getting haircuts, laundering our clothing is not allowed. And also a grand melacha, big melachot are not allowed, like watering your garden, painting your home, renovating your home, taking your car to the mechanic, fixing your car. These things are not allowed on Chol Hamoed. Sewing your clothing, different things like that. Writing is not allowed on Chol Hamoed. There's even a question, what happens if you find a Sefer Torah that has a mistake? Can you fix it on Chol Hamoed or not? And there's a debate this way, that way. How do you do? What do you do? For a Sefer Torah, it's allowed if you need that Sefer Torah. And it depends what it is. If it's only to scratch something off, that's not something big. To add one letter, not something so big, but if it's to write a whole word, or there's a discussion, even on that for a mitzvah. All the more so writing just for our business matters, we should not and are not allowed to write. However, what is allowed on Chol Hamoed are a number of things. Number one, if it's something letzorech hamoed, for the moed itself. Hey, I didn't buy food for the moed. We ran out of rice, whatever. We need food. You can go ahead and buy food. Of course, you're allowed to cook on Chol Hamoed, just like you're allowed to cook on Yom Tov. But not on Chol Hamoed, because you have a picnic in a week from now, and prepare for that also, only things for the Moed itself. Another person that's allowed to work on Chol Hamoed is a person that doesn't have what to eat. Not what to eat next week, not what to eat for the Moed itself. So let's say a person, they live day to day, and they need dinner tonight, so they have to go work. They have to stand over there somewhere by Home Depot and then wait for work, and then they get work. Okay, they could do that for that day if they don't have for the Moed itself. But if they have what to get by for the next couple of days, they may not work on the Moed. Something else that is allowed is tzorech mitzvah, a big matter of mitzvah that we need to do it now for the Chag itself. Yeah, not for weeks later, or something that is dangerous, for example, in the road, that we need to remove an obstacle, things like that, those things are allowed. But otherwise, it is not allowed. And also, the last thing that is allowed is davar haaved, a very big loss. Let's say you sell produce and you have a container of bananas, and if you're not going to sell it now, you're going to lose the whole thing. Or if there is a convention in the convention center and all your products are over there and you have to sell them. And another one that Rav Ovadia brings is, what if you have an office with 30 people? So what are you going to tell them? Well, we're not working on Chol Hamoed. He's like, no problem, but you're paying us. Right, so you're going to pay them now for the whole Chol Hamoed, whatever it is, $30, $40, $50 an hour, whatever it is, times 30 workers, times 8 hours a day. How can you manage that? That is davar haaved. That is a big loss, just like having a container of bananas. You have a container of people that are going to take, their wage from you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And those things are allowed to still employ them if it is a very big loss, and you can't contain that loss. Those things are allowed. All that, so that we could be mechabedet hamoadot, to honor the moadim and the kodashim. Bezrat Hashem, we should all have a chag sameach.